Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. That means tomorrow is byoq. Bring your own questions. It's a question and answer session. I will answer anything. Team David Meltzer first on the house. Jesse, good to see you as always. Hope you are learning and loving. Georgiana, Blaine, welcome, everyone. Just text me at 949-298-2905 or email me, david@dmeltzer.com, to register for training tomorrow. We are so excited to have everyone. It's free, so don't worry. You can also email me, david@dmeltzer.com, if you want a free book. I'll send that to you as well, or worksheets, exercises. But we got byoq, bring your own questions. I'm sure you can see my team's supposed to fill up the questions on here, and it's just a habit. Don't know where my team is in here, but they're supposed to come on. I'm looking to have a great day today. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We are excited to have you. Give me your questions now. Warm up for tomorrow for the byoq. Let's see here. Jesse. I should hire Jesse. She's the only one that listens here. There's no future. Everything is happening now. Yes, you're right. You can, everything is only happening now. How do we do that? We do things now. That's why doing things now is so important. Yeah, I can pin the text number, 949-298-2905. Go ahead, text me. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Jesse, everything is now. So we learn from the past. We prepare for the future. Okay? Learn from the past, prepare for the future. That's what we do in the now. We prepare for the future in the now. And, the future is always uncertain. We, by utilizing attention and intention, can help to determine our future, but we don't know what it is because we can't fathom infinity. And so we don't know the cause and effect of everything that we are doing, thinking, saying, believing, and the unconscious competencies that we have, the frequency that we carry, how we're impacting the universe. So all really cool stuff. Let me see here. Let me see where, there she is. All right, Caitlyn is here. Right on time. Let's let her join. Caitlyn, the general manager, Street League Skateboarding, friends with my boy, Rob. There she is. Caitlyn, welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So excited to have you. And we get very few. I've had Tony Hawk, a few drama, a few other people, but Craig Lutzka. We've been dancing around skateboarding for a long time. I'm old enough where I used to skateboard with Tony. We're the same age in San Diego. He's
amazing.
Little. That was back when like skateboarders had a different image, and so by the way, did computer guys. Techie guys had different images as well. But skateboarding, street league skateboarding, to me is one of the coolest things. Give me a little background on exactly how during this time you guys are growing and expanding. So I imagine there's a lot more interest in what you're doing now than even before this compressed time of uncertainty, as I like to call it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you so much. It's been wild to see how much it's grown in its 10 years. And, skateboarding has always been this just rich kind of community that really doesn't fit any specific, singular label, but there's so many different things. And we were lucky enough to kind of create this new type of property, or kind of, the world tour, I would call our flagship program, which is what's developed over the last 10 years. And to your point, like this time right now has really given us an opportunity to step back, have a little bit of a pause, because the world tour, especially being the qualification pathway to the Olympics, was so time consuming. And we, we've always wanted to build more and build, a broader kind of set of programmatic opportunities for development, or kind of, really at the basis of SLS is how do we create more opportunities for more pro skateboarders, or elite skateboarders, or just skateboarders in general. So right now it's really a fun time to go back to getting creative and really building out what do those platforms look like, what do those programs look like, what do those service offerings look like, and where do they live and how, and especially with so much going on in the world that relates to communities and how we all interrelate, I think skateboarding is an especially powerful vehicle to help kind of, reunite and kind of drive dialogue, but also kind of hopefully help heal our communities. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, the other thing that's really cool about you as the general manager there and a woman executive is that I always tell people right now, you got to focus on your skills, your knowledge, and your desire. And you have such proven skills, not only in the event side for the world tour, but in the content side, the media side, the marketing side. And sometimes, you know, I know this about myself because we have very similar skill sets, that, you know, our backdrop was always the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the Masters, Kentucky Derby, Breeders' Cup, more traditional stick and ball sports. But having the opportunity to sit back and go, you know what? I had no idea the size of the audience that isn't on tour. You know, and I always wonder, like, the artists that I work with and the athletes that I work with, if they're having the same shared experience of, oh my gosh, I've never been so productive and busy and active and so excited about how much opportunity. Like somebody, you know, I started my TikTok during this pause, and, you know, not really, you know, I don't sing and dance. I'm a middle-aged educator, an inspirer, not a huge genre in TikTok. And, you know, my daughter's helping me. She's interning this summer from IU. And she's like, oh my gosh, you know, you went from 0 to 6,000 people or whatever. And my, you know, my younger kids were like, 6,000 people. And I'm thinking in the context of, I would have died, you know, to have 6,000 people show up every day to listen to me speak, right? That's a big house for a speaker. And here, because my Instagram's so big and my LinkedIn's so huge, and like everyone loses track of how big these audiences are. Skateboard's a worldwide activity, right? It's a competitive, it's worldwide. Can you even, have you seen and even fathom how much opportunity with 4.4 billion people available to you?
And I mean, everything you said is exactly on point. And I think, you know, it's one of the things that I'm so passionate about with skateboarding, and I find so kind of fascinating, is this major opportunity, because not only is it globally relevant, but it's also so accessible, no matter, you know, what your socioeconomic, ethnic, regional, you know, any type of background. You can pick up a skateboard and go find a street corner and ultimately start street skateboarding. And the other thing that's really interesting and different to me is, like, I grew up playing mostly traditional sports, so it's very structured, and I think there's so many benefits that come from that. But it's ultimately someone telling you, here's a set of rules, here's how you excel, and, you know, here's the group of people, and here's when to show up, and kind of so on and so forth. And skateboarding is a community. It's a really, really strong knit community. And to your point, with media and technology today, it's a globally connected community, but it's also an individual exploration. And it's an individual kind of, as much as you want to go put in and whatever you want to focus on, and how much time you're willing to spend outside, and also how you start to see the world differently, like skating or walking down the street and you see possibility where everyone else sees, you know, just stairs and a way to get in a building, and et cetera, et cetera. So that connectedness and that, that kind of creativity and people being able to kind of be on their own, but also rallying around one another and celebrating one another, I think really, to your point, kind of gives skateboarding this X factor of, you know, unlimited potential. And that's what's fun about kind of being able to build something, and then also knowing there's the human factor of it can take on a life of its own, as we've seen with World Tour specifically.
Yeah, you know, one of the cool things about skateboarding, I had a Blue Angel, his code name was like Gucci, I think. Great guy, John Gucci. And he talked about that it'd be impossible to fly those 5-ton jets 18 inches apart going, you know, Mach whatever, that it's impossible unless you're one with the plane and one with each other. And, you know, not as a competitive skateboarder, but, you know, a kid who grew up in San Diego, and it was one of the first places that skateboarding became popular in the 70s. You know, I love the fact that it's a sport where, you know, I've met premier soccer players that feel the same way about a soccer field, right? It's a canvas that they create and move, and, you know, a high percentage of people that don't experience it, they don't understand that creativity. They just see some kid pushing down the street. Now, one of the other things that I love about skateboarding today that I didn't think would actually come about is it's great exercise. So like when I was a kid, they would make fun of you because it wasn't exercise. That's how, like, because people played on the street, right? You got like some wheels pushing you, but like now everything's motorized, they're battery operated, and I'm pushing my kids, you know, to have a ramp because it's so much exercise. And I still jump on a board every once in a while. My wife yells at me because she thinks for sure that's going to be the end of me. But, you know, to that end, when you have that canvas as a marketer, right, that's a lot of real estate to
Yeah.
deal with, right? That you couldn't on the world tour. You know, when people, you know, I even go to Tony's place, you know, you have one big, you know, half pipe. You can't get a lot of real estate out of it. But when you're talking about video games and content, and you have almost the whole world to create real estate for sponsorship, advertising, brand endorsement, etc.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we're so protective over, you know, skateboarding, the culture, and that really, you know, that honed creativity and kind of and personal expression that's inherent to it. But yet we want to create more opportunities for more skateboarders. So how do we blend, you know, sponsorship and bringing external partners in and whatnot? And to your point, you know, it's amazing to really always be able to build something bespoke from the ground up that's really a true value add for the audience or for the, you know, participants themselves, and whether it's content or a program or, you know, something inside a video game or something that's really a cohesive package that connects all of the dots. Because ultimately, like, we want to build a relationship between the audience and the brand partner and SLS and whatnot. And that comes back to, like, how do we serve the audience in all of the places that they are? And skateboarding is unique in that it's not just somewhere you go for an hour to play and then you go back to your life and you change into your regular clothes. Like, you're skateboarding in what you're wearing, and you're skateboarding in between all of the things that you're doing. It's such a permeable, you know, kind of blend into your actual lifestyle, in addition to, like, you know, the time that you're on the board. And so it's really, really fascinating. And I think, you know, exactly what you said. And I think especially today with, you know, changes we're going to see with mass transportation or, you know, different things. And, you know, LA is such a different world than most of the cities, but just in terms of kind of how it's designed and sprawled, but like skateboarding as a transportation mechanism, I think is going to become a really interesting factor. So it's just one of these things that seems to fit almost anywhere if someone wants to use it that way. And there's so much variability and opportunity in it.
And the last part is just the learning curve. It's not just the learning curve of the skateboarder, but it's educating now such a big market about the nuances, the excitement, the variables that are involved in skateboarding. And now you have this huge opportunity to educate. What are some of the things, I know, not only philanthropically, but for the sport and for the league itself, what are some of the things that you're doing to provide that learning curve?
Yeah, no, it's one of the most important areas of focus for me, and something, again, I think it's good that we kind of have a little bit of a pause to refocus our efforts, because what's interesting is, like, we really built, you know, the world tour, which is the NBA of street skateboarding, if you will, and there's no global infrastructure underneath it. So usually you have, you know, the rec leagues that go to you know, AAU goes to NCAA, goes to G League or D League now, and then you go to the NBA. So there's all this kind of development infrastructure. We built the top, and then it got added to the Olympics, and there's really not a lot underneath it. And so I do think there's something really beautiful about the individual pursuit that has kind of informed skateboarding up till now. But ultimately, we're going to have an audience who's looking to skateboarding, sees it in pop culture consciousness, sees it in SLS and the World Tour, and how do we serve them? And I think it's on us. It's our responsibility to build those developmental aspects, but also do it in a way that's authentic to skateboarding. So it's not just, this is how you do this trick and get this score and win this. It's working with the pros that have defined skateboarding, whether they've been in SLS or, you know, participate in a different discipline, and really give them a platform to teach back and help shape and define what learning how to skateboard really looks like. And I think that's creating that ecosystem could really be something beautiful for both the, you know, existing elite and icons, as well as the next generation who get to kind of see that array and be exposed to that array of passion and expertise and experience.
Yeah, and you're nailing it with the frequency. I always talk about having a strong signal, knowing the spectrum of people that you address, and then having a very clear, authentic, organic message. And, you know, since the 70s that I've been involved in skateboarding, you know, that is the one thing that I think really bodes in the favor of skateboarding in the virtual world, is that it's one of the most authentic communities, right? There's certain communities that just, you don't have to worry about it because you'll know immediately if you're not at the frequency, right? You just know immediately, and that's what I look for and love. You know, it's so variable in MLB and NFL and kind of the traditional four. People are all over what it means to them, but not skateboarding or surfing. Those two communities, if you're off, you're going to know it immediately. And I love the fact I use skateboarding as an example for corporations when they ask, well, what do you mean by finding your frequency? Having a strong signal, the right spectrum, and a clear message. And you've done such an extraordinary job of not only capturing it, modifying it correctly, amplifying it, and now you even realize you can perpetuate it and bring back to life some of the great, older legacy guys like myself that, we can learn from and have that mentorship to build out the developmental educational side of things that, you're doing the whole thing, Caitlyn. I'm really proud of you. I appreciate you coming on and sharing everything about SLS.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
See you soon. Have a great holiday.
You as well. Thank you.
Take care. Awesome. I love skateboarding, and nobody does it better business-wise than those guys, Rob and Tony and Caitlyn. Thank you so much for growing what I grew up with. And as they kick all the electronic stuff off the boardwalk, I'm hoping to see more cool skateboarders jumping up and down, flipping around with all cool sizes and wheels and trucks and all this stuff. Good. Anyway, all right, let's get a quick question in, and looking for what's going on. Georgiana, how you deal with anger and frustration that came from past experiences. They don't go away immediately. I had one past experience in my life that it took 9 years to process and to learn from and to shift my energy from. So what we want to do is learn from it every day. We want to stop, drop, and roll. We want to cancel, clear, and connect. We know the severity of a past experience, whether it sits only in the conscious where a thought comes and we can cancel it and it never comes back again, or it may sit in the subconscious where a thought comes, we cancel it and it comes back again. And we eventually get rid of that. That's in the subconscious. If it's in your quantum memory, in your unconscious competency, you might continue, cancel it, clear your mind, and it still haunts you before you go to bed or when you wake up. Then you know you got some work to do. You have to shift your energy. And go ahead. I'll teach you. That's a good question. We could talk at byoq tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead, text me. Whether you want to register for training, you want a free book, you want some exercises, guides, whatever you want from me, it's free. Just text me at 949-298-2905 or email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Looking for Corinne here. Jakey Bake. We got the Winning Edge Leadership Academy. I know the Global Sports Management Program very intimately. Great people there. A lot of people are interested in their own careers in sports and understanding how we work with that, with young people building their things. Let me see here. There we are. Corinne's here. Awesome. Okay, here we go.
Hey.
There she is. Hi, Corinne.
How are you?
I am so well. I am so excited to talk to you because obviously you and I share a great passion and mission to share sports as leaders and to the youth. I would say my life goal is to plant seeds under trees I'll never sit under. And that's what you do every single day with the Winning Edge Leadership Academy. You never know when those seeds will start growing.
No.
One of my favorite experiences when kids come back, interns come back, my own kids in a car tell me something that I taught them or thought I taught them every day. And they're like, Corinne told me, she told me this. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's what she told you? And yeah, Dad, this is amazing. It works so well. I'm like, really? I could have sworn the last 15 years.
Oh my
now
God.
now at least I got videos to prove to them. Like
Yes.
I'm the one that told you, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. I'm the one that told you to ask. Anyway,
So true.
You're amazing. Let's talk about the academy and where it's at right now. Obviously, huge growing space and a great need to teach people leadership. So give me a little bit of background so people know.
Yeah, so the Winning Edge Leadership Academy, it's a community of industry professionals and organization really coming together for collective change in sports and entertainment. Something you love, you're so passionate about, you talk about it all the time. And, it's about creating pathways for career, college to career for women, minorities, student athletes in the space. It's something that people just assume is happening. And right now has been a time that really has highlighted the need to really create more pipelines into the industry for talent. And we've been doing it for 5 years now. I can't believe it. It's like CEO of a startup. I feel like if I could just make Apple kind of money, it would be great.
It'll
So
happen. You can
yeah,
manifest it. Exactly.
yes,
Which brings up a good point, right? So, all of the great deeds that we do, I'm a make a lot of money person to help a lot of people have a lot of fun. I
yeah,
believe I receive so I can give.
yes,
I've been blessed to, represent the Clemente family. I've been blessed to be partners with Warren Moon, to work, within the Unstoppable Foundation, where,
yeah,
in Kenya, all this work. But one of the things I've learned through the years, and I think a lot of other people are learning now, is that I will never know what it's like to be a minority. I will
right,
never know what it's like to be a woman. I have 3
right,
daughters and a wife. I promise you, I will never know that. But my biggest challenge is I want to know how I can help, right? I am a white male, right?
yes,
I'm a corporate leader. I have a good heart and a good
yeah,
brain, and I want
yes,
I want to do the right things for everyone. I want that, but I don't want to, separate myself. I want to help. And so someone like you can teach, an old dog like me, but even
yeah,
more importantly, the youth, these lessons. What are some of the things that, the average white male in America who can
yeah,
create change? I mean, I have presidents that ask me to be an advisor for small business. I have, chiefs of police that listen to me.
yeah,
I have ears of people, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. I just want to help. So
right,
can you help guide me a little bit on,
yes.
what people like me can do?
It's funny. I literally just got off the phone from a guy I used to work with at ESPN, a white average Joe guy. He's the photographer. Shout out to Phil Ellsworth. I think he has Instagram, so I'm gonna tag him because
Good.
he's gonna definitely deserve this. And he literally called me and asked me that very same question a couple of weeks ago, and we really just listened to each other. And the one thing that we've understood is like access, and really just making the connection. It's like we can talk about the plan, and it's really like, okay, Phil, who do you know within your organization that can provide a lunch and learn conversation for students who want to create video with their iPhone? Like that's a skill that they can start using now, they can start using when they get back on campus. And those are real tangible conversations that can happen now. We don't have to wait if there's going to be a college football season. We hope so. It better be. But like,
I'm with you.
yeah, but it's like what you're doing right now is something that a lot of people can do. Hop on a camera, hop on the phone, have a conversation, start making those connections. That's how we start changing biases, grow that familiarity with someone who's different. It's in our nature to be comfortable. We want to hire people we know from the same background, from the same experience. And this is a great way through networking and tangible conversation, like intentional conversation, that we can create that change. We're not hiring people right now. Let's be honest. Like there are no jobs, every day I listen to NPR and they're giving me the new jobs report number, and it's like, I get it. We're in a tough position right now where like the commitment to hire diverse talent is real, but it's like, there's no hiring. But how do we start creating that bridge that closes that gap of opportunity? And it's about having conversations, and that's what we're about creating conversations and opportunities. Obviously money helps with that, but the average Joe, that's what you can do. You can come to our website, especially if you have the time. That's all. The time is the most important thing. Show somebody you care, right?
Yeah, and you talk about time. I think managing expectations of time, right? It becomes very difficult, especially with the youth, because they see things happen right away,
Yeah,
instantly, right? I mean,
I know.
TikTok, it's like, they call me to do educational stuff on TikTok, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, well, you need to do it in 8 seconds. I'm like, what? Like, have you ever seen Dave Meltzer video? They're not 8 second video. Who's going to learn anything in 8 seconds?
I don't even
So
have the app. I never even seen a real TikTok on TikTok.
that's crazy. I don't dance, I don't sing, but they have an educational part now that they want to put on there. And I said,
Yeah.
if there's kids that want to be educated, I will give them my best piece of advice in 8 to 11 seconds that I can. Like, be kind to your future self, or show me your friends, I'll show you your future, whatever it is. Like I said, I will give them one of the things that's interesting. You know, I had what I hate when he sees these videos, but he knows the truth. I had baby oops, right? I got 3 teenage daughters, 21, 19, and 16, and then I have a son who's 10.
Yes.
He was born right when Obama was elected. I went to the same college as Obama, right? And the funniest thing when the new president took over, and this will tie in, he said to me, "Oh my gosh, Daddy." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "We have a white president." Because, and this is a valuable lesson for people to understand, right? This is why it takes time for things to change, because we only know what we know. And what I try to see, and I test him all the time, is how has that perception when he was 8 years old, in just 2 years now, through the Black Lives Matter, through all the things he hears in our home, all the things, you know, his Uncle Warren is doing, you know, all the things he sees, and what does that mean to him? How's it change? Because he's the one who really is going to lead, right? I can plant seeds, I can water seeds, but that 10-year-old who started his life, you know, 8 first years of his life, only knowing the greatest, strongest, most powerful leader in the world was an African American.
Yes.
Right. This is important, because you can't teach that out of him. You can't teach it out of him. This is in his inherent quantum nature. And that's what people have to understand is, you know, when you say go out there and teach people, plant these seeds, because we want it to be quantum. We don't want it to be a conscious thing that they can change their mind about. Right. When they lose their job, people are very fickle when they lose their job.
Yes. Right? That's what I was talking about with Phil. It's a scary time. Like, I don't want to feel like if I do this, I'm helping somebody take my job. Like, nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And I see people all the time, and, you know, maybe it'll be a good thing politically that enough people lose their job that the change will be made. But, you know, I want to know too, on the programming side, what are some of the things that you are doing to change that intention? You know, like you said, what are some of the programmatic things that are available to people?
Yeah, we have obviously our resource, our Winning Edge X is a platform that people can say, hey, I'm available to do resume reviews. We have our Gigs for Game Changers Challenge, which is basically short-term projects, micro internships. Instead of that, I have to move to New York to take an unpaid internship to gain experience in this industry. I can provide something an intern would do, or a new hire, just a task, something that is on the edge of your desk you need to take care of, whether you're individual, entrepreneur, organization. It's just a pipeline of talent that can take care of those tasks. All this stuff is on our website, wegamechange.org. We do a lot of pop-up events. If you are in the city, we're in Atlanta, so shout out the Dirty Birds. But we do dinners of influence. We do a game-changing retreat that we're always looking for people. We really just try to build as many connections as possible. I need to find a way to keep track of the connections that we make. Yes.
I was going to say, I have an idea.
Yes.
I'm going to do an interview competition. I'm going to have everyone from the organization send me their resume. We're going to pick 6 people on office hours. We're going to do an 8-minute interview, and then I'll do a 2-minute commentary to teach people. And the best interview, I'll give an internship to for my company. For the kid, and hopefully it'll inspire other people to do the same thing. But they could all log in and watch, and we'll go ahead and show and give interview tips on what I would say, what we're looking for, etc. And see how, if you're interested, I'd love to do that.
It's on video now. You can't take it back.
Oh, I don't take things back. I don't. I'm a man of my word and my actions. So let's plan that. Yes. I think, you know, that's an area too, is mentorship. You know, I want to teach these kids to ask. There's a lot of people out there. If you can't get a job right now, you can learn. You can develop your skills, your knowledge, and you know, it's not sacrificing, by the way, kids. It's investing in yourself, and you're going to get compound interest. Nothing gives you more compound interest in life than investing in yourself. Go ahead, list out IULs, annuities, stock market, bonds. I don't care what you think, real estate. Nothing gives you more compound interest than investing in yourself. So when you feel like you're sacrificing, when you feel like it's too much, it's not. You're just you literally have a currency called faith. a currency called faith, and you invest that faith in yourself, I promise you, money, helping others, and having fun with your life are all yours. I don't care what situation. I grew up with 6 kids, a single mom, in Akron, Ohio, right? Where LeBron was born. I didn't learn to invest myself in basketball, but I did learn to invest myself to help other people. And I'm telling you, please listen to Corinne.
Our kids better be watching this, so don't be out here embarrassing the winning edge now. We got to come out here and put your best selves out here. This is what we've been working for all these years. It's time. If people are ready, like Dave, to act, that's what we need. We just need people to act. We've been talking about it, 1968, like all these things. This is not new. It just happens to also be a pandemic going on.
Yes,
so.
different name, same colors, different name. I get it. I've been there. I'm born in 68 myself. So yes, please. Look, I do free trainings every Friday. All the kids can come to. They're free. I'll give my books for free to everyone. My exercises for free. Everybody, if you want to get in on this competition, you can text me at 949-298-2905. Email me directly. David at Meltzer. Yeah.
Trevor Moad, that's my guy.
That's my guy. We went to college together.
Yes, Trevor. He came to our first retreat in Miami. It was great. They still talk about him. Thanks, Trevor, for the love, my man. He gets it. He knows what we're about. Trevor's that dude. He's out here doing it too. So thank you so much for this platform, Dave. You have no idea.
Of course.
Your action, like I'm looking forward to all the possibilities that we create.
We're gonna get a lot of companies involved. We're gonna get a lot of people. I'm gonna start a new trend. We got the new interview competition for kids. I'm gonna teach them, and we'll bring on some other great ones. Even maybe Trevor Moad, I'll get involved. And now you doubled in my favor because he's one of my favorite people too. As they say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And Trevor's our friend.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Thank
you. We'll see you soon. Make sure you contact me about that compo.
Oh, don't you worry. I will.
All right. Corinne, thank you for joining me. The Winning Edge Leadership Academy, doing great things for everyone's future. We're going to do that competition on office hours. We'll pick a day, get as many kids involved as we can, make sure they're tuning in to learn about how to interview in the comments that we have. Once again, thank you, Trevor, for joining Corinne and I as well. What a great friend you are. Let's get a few more questions tomorrow. BYOQ. So if I don't get to your questions, come tomorrow. BYOQ. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You can email me, david@dmeltzer.com. You can go to dmeltzer.com/training. Free. You can get my books for free, /book. Please join me for free. I would love to have you. You can even text me at 949-298-2905 for everything that we mentioned. Let's get to some questions today. Warming up for BYOQ tomorrow. Looking good here. How do we deal with frustration and anger, where they come from? I think I dealt with that one. Sorry, Georgiana. Get to the next one. Can you explain tricking your ego? It's not necessarily tricking your ego. It's avoiding your ego, right? The ego is omnipresent. It's always there. And so what we want to do is take on a different personality that doesn't have an ego, meaning an alter ego effect. So if I want to try to get to neutral, I may take a Russell Wilson football card and put it in my pocket and feel as if I'm Russell Wilson, taking away all the fear of Dave Meltzer and all the lack of insecurities and worthiness, etc., and just know the neutrality of being Russell Wilson, of not being too high and not being too low, and to be the most efficient, effective, and statistically successful person I can. It's not eradicating or tricking the ego. It's just getting out of your own way by using the alter ego effect. When you're in sales, you can just use your middle name. Watch the difference in the way you feel when you make a call using your middle name. How to not be lazy. Lower the bar. Know that 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. Find something that you could do your entire life. Be consistent about it. It will grow and expand. That's the nature of the universe and the nature of energy. But you've got to use motivation to get started, to get up, to get restarted, or get back up. Then you can convert that into inspiration through the enjoyment of the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. Any tips to enhance communication skills? Yes. Listen. Be more interested than interesting. If you want to enhance your communication skills, learn to ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions force you to listen. How are you? That's an open-ended question. Blah, 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 blah. What do you like about it? Blah, 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 blah. Right? Don't tell somebody, ask them an open-ended question. You then can utilize closed-ended or leading questions in order to facilitate, would it help you if I did this? And this can be value that you provide, or do you know anyone that can help me with this, right? One of the most common mistakes, the thing I would tell myself at 12, 22, 32, 42, and 52 today, ask for help. Find someone that sits in the situation that you are in. Know what you want and ask them for it. Ask them how to get it by simply saying, do you know anyone that can help me with what? You know that what. Be more interested than interesting. All right, let's see. Got a couple more questions in me. Warming up for byoq tomorrow, Friday. David@dmeltzer.com. Get my free book, free exercises, guides, free training. Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, every single Friday. Thousands and thousands of people are registered. We love you. We want more. We want to empower others to be happy. This is how we're going to do it. byoq. You bring the questions, I bring the answers. How do you work 64 hours productivity a day? Well, most people are 8 hours productive in a day at best. I stay clear, balanced, and focused, taking inventory of my values every day, asking and attracting, being a student of my calendar, doing it now, and practicing ending fear, allowing me to have 16 hours of productivity a day. I find the efficiencies in that productivity and try to be twice as efficient, which makes it 32 hours of productivity in a day. Then by practice and focus as well, I become more statistically successful in what I do, so that 32 hours of productivity becomes 64 productivity hours a day. 8 days I'm productive compared to most people in one day. And since I believe in activity I get paid for and activity I don't get paid for, since I'm practicing ending fear, finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything I do, 7 days a week doesn't bother me to be productive 64 hours a day. So I have 56 days of productivity every single week. Every single week, I'm more productive than most people are in 3 months. So I'm not beating them because I'm smarter. I'm not beating them because it's some luck. I'm simply beating people with math, straight out math. Every 3 months I got one. That's right. So when I'm 10 years into my career, I'm 30 years into my career. When I'm 30 years into my career, I'm 90 years into my career. I'm beating you with math. 64-hour productivity is in my book. Get it for free. I'll give you the book, Connected to Goodness. Just go ahead. David@dmeltzer.com. dmeltzer.com/book or training. Register for the training. I'll give you the book and the exercises. 949-298-2905. Let's get some more questions. All righty. This one looks a small print. Did you ever hear that Ben Franklin's dad was going to donate him, being the 10th child, to a church? I did not hear that, and I do not doubt that. But being the 10th child cannot be a bad thing. A lot of people to learn from, both conscious, subconscious, and as a collective conscious, would be the 10th child. It's amazing how many of the last child of multi-children families do so well because they've learned and inherited so many lessons. How do you keep yourself, and by the way, one of the reasons those last children do so well with multi-children families is because the parents are better parents, right? They made all the mistakes on the first ones. Just speaking from experience, byoq. You bring the questions, I'll bring the answers. How do you keep yourself motivated even during this preventive? So motivation, remember, is the ability to get up and to stay, to get back up, or to start, or to restart. I'm most concerned about clearing the interference and connection to the most powerful source of energy, light, and love that I'm always connected to, this unbelievable source. So I'm mostly interested in being inspired, clearing what bothers me, what bugs me, using the thermostat of my life, how I feel, in order to effectuate what I want. In order to do that, I need to know what I want. In order to do that, I have to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential by taking inventory of my personal experiential giving and receiving values. That's what we do. And that's how we stay inspired. But if you want to get motivated, you can use fear to motivate you. You can use accountability partner to motivate you. Movies, music, TV, all types of things can motivate you. It can get you up, get you started, get you back up, get you restarted. But think about the conversion into inspiration. How am I going to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential? What does that look like? That's the next step. That's why people get confused on motivation, because they are motivated, but it dies out. It's a soul sucker. It sucks your energy. Motivation will blast you out of this universe, but it will not get you there. That's what we do. We convert and inspire here. And that's what we want for you. Sir, please tell me about how to focus on my future and on my career. Things have stopped for a while. Yes, so what you want to focus in on are your capabilities. Your capabilities consist of three things that you need to focus in on. One, your skills. Determine what skills you need in order to effectuate what you want. Two, your knowledge. Determine the knowledge that you want, have, or need in order to effectuate what you want. Find the appropriate mentorship, guides, lessons in order to accelerate what you have in skills and knowledge. And then finally, what we were talking about earlier, make sure you're inspired. The one common denominator of all happy people, the thing that I teach the most is happiness. The thing I want to inspire others to be is happy, is the ability that you must be what you can be. You must be what you can be. So make sure if you don't feel that desire that you must be what you can be, that you're going to be the first one in and the last one to leave, that you're going to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. You're going to find the light, the loves, and the lessons in everything you do. You're going to know that pain is just an indicator. Pain is just an indicator that you have a lesson to learn. Emotional, spiritual, financial, educational. Pain is just an indicator. It's a turn signal. Hey, dummy, turn in this direction to a better place, a better situation, or to make your situation better. All right, tap into your happiness gene. That's right, Kate. All right, how are you still able to focus on things that matter? It's becoming difficult these days. Well, look, everything matters. You intend everything you see and you give meaning to it. So for me, I have very strict disciplines in order to effectuate enjoying, staying happy, the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential. How do I know my potential? Because I take inventory of my values every day, personal, experiential, giving and receiving values every single day, and I'm not afraid of being a hypocrite. I'm not mind and growing and learning and telling you three special words. I don't know. I don't know. I guarantee that I don't know more than I know, right? I know that, for example, just about people. There's 4.4 billion people on the internet. I know that I don't know hardly any of them. And I know that they don't know me. And so I know that beyond the people in the universe, that there's an infinity of knowledge. So it's absolutely certain that I don't know what I don't know. And so I use that as a motivator to my potential, that I want to learn the most that I can about what I want in order to feel good, to be happy. All right, let's go ahead. Look in here. One more question randomly. So many great questions. Thank you, everyone. Do you have information regarding legal info needed for sponsorship? That's a very broad question. So I have people that you can talk to. I have certain information. It would depend. Make sure you email me at david@dmeltzer.com. I'd be happy to help you. Let me take one more question real quick. Here we go. I'm just spinning through these. It's like roulette. All right. Easiest way to save 4 minutes a day. That's a great byoq question. I'll bring that for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Register for the free training, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905, 949-298-2905. You can get my book, my exercises, and free training. But more importantly, why do we want to save 4 minutes a day? Because every time you can figure out how to save 4 minutes a day, you're going to save 24 hours a year. A year! 3 full days of productivity for most people. So in 10 years, it's a whole month of your productivity. Unbelievable exponential growth and acceleration and advantage that gives you. To be happy, you can do whatever you want. You can go walk with your kids. You can do whatever you want with that time. So I'm constantly searching what I do every year, every month, every week, every day, every hour, and every minute in order to find those 4 minutes. And if I can find those 4 minutes, I know that I just saved 3 full days of productivity this year. And I continue to do that. The first place that I started is I found my first 4 minutes in the way that I brushed my teeth, flossed my teeth, and take a swig of Listerine. I found that I was daydreaming and wasting time, so I just simply put my phone down and timed it. Enrique Olazabal. Hello, my dear friend. It's a day to elevate, a day to be happy. If you have not checked out Elevate, go ahead to look at Enrique Olazabal there, my boy. Let everybody know where to find you. It's, to me, the best product that I use to be happy. It just sets me off in that motivational, inspirational trajectory for the day. Can you recommend a good source to learn about inspiration? Tons. I'll give you my book to start. Come to my trainings on Friday. Please just go ahead, text me at 949-298-2905. There's so many great places. David at dmeltzer.com, dmeltzer.com/training. Let's get elevated, everyone. All right, it's time to go. Tomorrow, I will see everybody 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you don't get there, you need a replay, just check it out on the Playbook on Mondays. My podcast, The Playbook. Blessed to be the #1 entrepreneurial podcast for entrepreneur. Please check it out. It's going to inspire you. byoq, bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want to thank Caitlyn and Corinne, both incredible women doing incredible things. Please, everybody, join me. And most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. See you tomorrow.